The first thing people saw wasn't a love story. It was a black bra, a carefully posed mirror shot, and Katie Price once again putting her surgically enhanced figure front and center for millions to examine. At 47, she knows exactly how to command attention, and she uses it like a spotlight that never switches off. But while those glamorous selfies were circulating, something else was unfolding at the same time. Over in Dubai, her husband Lee Andrews was casually filming himself, congratulating his wife, talking about missing her, and then, almost as an afterthought, announcing that she's planning to hook him up with a hair transplant in Turkey. So within the same breath, we have lingerie photos, cosmetic upgrades, long-distance declarations of love, and surgical tourism being drew into the marriage calendar. It doesn't feel like a silent reunion between husband and wife. It feels organized. And that's where the question starts to creep in. Is this romance unfolding naturally? Or is this a lifestyle arrangement where reinvention is part of the deal? Because with Katie, every new chapter doesn't just arrive, it escalates. Every relationship, every appearance, every announcement feels slightly louder than the one before. And you have to wonder, why does every Katie era need to top the last one? While Katie was lighting up Ireland, performing on stage in a skimpy sequined crop top and tiny mini skirt, belting out her 2007 hit, I Got You, which had just hit #1 on iTunes again, her husband was somewhere else entirely. Lee Andrews was in a quiet fast food spot during Ramadan, sipping on a drink and filming himself, casually announcing that they would be reunited next week. His words weren't whispered in private, they were broadcasted, like a calendar entry made public for everyone to follow. He congratulated her on her performance, gushed over her in ways that seemed almost scripted, and even slipped in the note about the hair transplant she was apparently arranging for him in Turkey. Meanwhile, Katie was grinding and belting, soaking in the lights and the cheers, a full performance machine in her element. The energy couldn't be more different. One side, hyperglam, high-octane, fully staged. The other, low-key, almost mundane, yet still curated for social media. The contrast is jarring. It doesn't feel private. It doesn't feel like a quiet reunion of two people in love. It feels like content. Every hug, every announcement, every glance is already framed for an audience. And that brings us to the question hovering in the back of everyone's mind. Is this a marriage unfolding naturally? Or is this a carefully choreographed storyline designed to keep the cameras watching? For Katie Price, transformation isn't a hobby. It's a defining feature. Over the years, every public appearance has been a carefully timed reveal, a chance to show the world a new version of herself. It's not just about looking different. It's about making sure everyone notices, capturing attention in ways that keep her in the spotlight. Each red carpet, each Instagram post, each performance becomes a statement. This is the new me, again. Now, the story has taken a new twist. She's not only reinventing herself, she's turning her husband into part of the spectacle. Katie will hook it up in Turkey, Lee casually says about the hair transplant she's arranging for him. What once was private becomes part of the public narrative. A shared transformation that doubles as a bonding activity. Beauty upgrades are no longer just personal. They're a joint project, a performance woven into the fabric of their relationship. And that's where the tension builds. At what point does self-reinvention stop being empowerment and start becoming spectacle? When does choosing to transform yourself cross into performing transformation for everyone else, turning personal evolution into compulsive visibility? With Katie, the line feels blurred. Every reveal feels urgent, every change designed to shock, leaving the audience questioning. Is this freedom, or is it an obsession staged for public approval? The whirlwind doesn't stop at cosmetic transformations. Katie's love life moves at a pace that would make anyone dizzy. She tied the knot with Lee Andrews after just a one-week romance, in a wedding set against the luxurious backdrop of the UAE. What makes it even more striking is how quickly it followed her split from her previous boyfriend. Barely any downtime between chapters. Katie describes the wedding as no stress, telling fans to just enjoy and watch my love develop. But when you step back, it's hard not to notice how everything happens at lightning speed. From first flirtation to full-blown marriage, from Instagram posts to public congratulations, every step is fast, curated, and highly performative. It's a pattern. Fast love, fast marriage, fast declarations. There's a thrill to it, sure, but it also raises a question. Is intensity replacing depth? Are relationships being lived, or are they being staged to maintain momentum in her ever-escalating narrative? And the micro-hook lingers. Why does everything in Katie's world move faster than anyone else's? Why does normal pacing seem to disappear the moment she enters the frame? While the world was holding its breath over Dubai, with explosions near the iconic Palm Jumeirah making headlines after a suspected missile strike, Katie was posting lingerie photos. Sequins, black bras, and surgically sculpted curves filled her feed, each shot more dramatic than the last. At the same time, Lee was joking about the hair transplant she was hooking him up with in Turkey, filming it all like a casual update for his followers. The contrast is striking. On one side, global instability, fear, headlines flashing about missiles and chaos. On the other, a carefully choreographed marriage spectacle, cosmetic upgrades, and staged performances. The tonal whiplash is almost dizzying. And the subtle roast writes itself. Some couples book dinner reservations. This couple books surgical tourism. It's a reminder that in the world of Katie Price, life and love aren't just lived. They're staged, packaged, and shared, regardless of what else is happening around them. Lee posts a photo with the caption, "Fuck normal. I want magic." And just like that, the couple's mantra is out in the open. Normal is boring. Intensity is mandatory. Katie chimes in, telling the world she's ecstatic and smitten, praising Lee for being older, claiming his life experience adds depth to their connection. Yet, even the smallest details like his age get corrected on camera, almost as if the narrative itself needs constant editing. It leaves you wondering about the dynamic. Is this the passionate chaos of two people truly in love? Or is it a performance, a high-voltage display of intensity designed for an audience that can't look away? The creepiness isn't about judgment. It's about scale. Everything they do is magnified, public, and designed to keep you watching. And Katie isn't slowing down. If anything, she's escalating. A new marriage, new surgeries, new upgrades, and now shared transformations. This isn't just a love story. It's a cycle of reinvention, with each chapter louder, flashier, and more performative than the last. And the audience? We're all part of the show, watching, reacting, and waiting for the next reveal. If this is the honeymoon phase, the question lingers. What happens when the next transformation comes? And more importantly, who will be ready for it?